In our video number 17, we will discuss the agricultural market system under rural development. What is agricultural market system? It is a mechanism through which goods reach different places. These goods can be related to plant or animal, which undergo certain operations like harvesting, threshing, winnowing, bagging, transportation, storage, processing, and exchange. These then reach the markets and then which are later consumed by the consumers. So this marketing can be between rural and rural areas, rural and urban areas, and rural and the industries. So what do we understand by this agricultural marketing? How do we define it then? This agricultural market that includes pre and post harvest operations can be then defined as a process that involves the assembling, storage, processing, transportation, packaging, grading, and distribution of different agricultural commodities across the country. Now, during this agricultural marketing, farmers suffered from traders, that is, faulty weighing, manipulation of accounts, and they were also did not have enough information on prices prevailing in the markets. The storage facilities were not proper, and most of the time goods produced in the farms were wasted due to lack of this storage facility. So intervention of government became very important. Now the four measures that are initiated by the government to improve marketing aspects, because a large share of this market produce or the agricultural produce is handled by the private sector. Hence, the intervention of government is important. So, what are the four measures that have been initiated by the government? The first of them is the regulation of markets. The regulation of markets to create an orderly and transparent marketing conditions. So when there is transparent marketing condition, it would mean that either the farmer and the consumer, both of them are aware of the prices, the quality and the quantity of the produce. So it would benefit the farmers as well as the consumers. The second measure is provision of physical infrastructure. Infrastructure includes roads, railways, warehouses, godowns and cold storages, and the processing units. It is necessary because it meets the growing demand. Because the population is growing, the demand for agricultural produce also increases. Hence, provision of physical infrastructure is an important step. The third measure is the cooperative marketing system. Here, the fair prices for farmers' products is ensured. For example, the very well known Amul in Gujarat. This transformed the social and economic landscape of Gujarat. This production of more milk under this cooperative marketing system was called as Operation Flood. Then the fourth measure initiated by the government is policy instruments. That is, to provide a minimum support price for agricultural products, to maintain buffer stock by the Food Corporation of India, and a public distribution system to distribute food grains and sugar to people living in the rural and the needy. Apart from the measures initiated by the government to improve the marketing aspects, the another important step that has been taken is to provide an alternative or alternate marketing channels. Here, the farmers can directly sell their produce to consumers. And this would ensure that there is an increase in income of the farmers. Some examples under the alternate marketing channels, which are managed by the APMC, or Agricultural Produce Market Committee, which was brought out in 2003. Okay. Now, examples include Apni Mandi in Punjab, Haryana, and Rajasthan, Hadapsar Mandi in Pune. Mandi means market. Raitu Bazar. Raitu means farmer. Bazar, markets in Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. And Ulavar Sandhis in Tamil Nadu. That is our markets in Tamil Nadu. Now, the second important aspect of the alternate marketing channels is the farmers can enter into direct contracts with national and multinational fast food chains. Now that we hear about the Walmart or the Spencers or more, what they do is they are in direct contact with farmers who get the agricultural produce into their markets or into their shops. Then the farmers are in these multinational fast food chains, they encourage the farmers to grow farm products by providing them with seeds and other inputs also. So provision of inputs is made by these multinational food chains. This assures them the procurement at pre-decided prices. So what happens over here? This reduces their price risk, and also it helps in expanding the markets. Now the trade is organized, but farmers are not familiar with the complex marketing system. A farmer has to face constraints and is forced to sell his produce at an unfavorable place, time, and price. So that is the only issue over here when the farmers are in direct contact with national and multinational chains. Now, growing crops would mean that a farmer is busy only during a certain part of the time or part of the year, and then the rest of the time he has no work to do. Now, if we divide the cropping season in India, then we have Rabi crop season and the Kharif crop season. The Rabi crop season is the crops that are sown in the months of October to December, and then they are harvested in the months of March and April. For example, wheat, gram, and mustard, which need less water. And then the Kharif crop season is the crops that are sown in the months of June and July when it rains, and harvested in the months of September and October. Examples include cotton, rice, and jawar. During the Rabi season, the areas where there are inadequate irrigation facilities, it becomes difficult to find gainful employment. So, expansion into other sectors is essential to provide supplementary gainful employment, right? And also to realize higher income. So, keeping that in view, an agricultural diversification was introduced, which forms a very important aspect for the farmers. So, what does this do? This change brings about a change in the cropping pattern, and it shifts the workforce from agriculture to other allied activities and non-agricultural sector. Generally, what happens is women are more into agricultural sector or activities, and men are more into the non-farm employment activities. However, in these days, we find women also involved or looking into non-farm activities. Under the non-farm activities, we have certain dynamic subsectors that include agro-processing industries like food processing industries, leather industries, tourism, etc. Now, non-farm activities also include those which have the potential but lack infrastructure, like the traditional home-based industries like pottery, crafts, handlooms, etc. These have the potential but they lack the infrastructure. One of the very known example for the non-farm activities is that which was brought out by the Tamil Nadu government, the TANVA. It's an acronym that says TANVA is Tamil Nadu Women in Agriculture. So here the Tamil Nadu government has is encouraging women in agricultural activities, which would bring about some skill in them. That means they train these women in the latest agricultural techniques. What does this do? This helps them raise the agricultural productivity because it teaches them the new techniques of production, and then it also increases the family income. Okay, here the women, they make and sell vermicompost, and the money that they earn out of this by selling the vermicompost, they save in mini banks through micro credit system. Okay, this helps in promotion of small scale household activities like the mushroom cultivation, soap manufacture, doll making, etc. So actually the money that they make out of this vermicompost, by selling it, they save this money as well as they invest in certain activities to earn more income through mushroom cultivation, soap manufacture, doll making, etc.